Emma Hamilton comes from a poor family. He also does not eat school desks. To survive, he relies on his only strength, beauty. This Englishwoman is known as a seductress, lady of nobility, muse or muse of painter George Romney, celebrity, lady, wife of a diplomat, also secret lover of the great English hero Admiral Lord Nelson. What's the full story? Let's watch this video until it's finished. Before watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell button to get interesting stories from world-famous figures. Nobody knows the exact date of his birth. Her real name is still being debated, Amy or Emily Lyon. However, one report states that he was baptized on the 12th of May 1765. Emma Hamilton is the daughter of an illiterate blacksmith from a village on the Wirral Peninsula, dark and dotted with coal mines here and there. His father died when he was only 2 months old. He had known the harshness of life since his youth. Little Emma had to sell coal on the side of the road to help her mother and grandmother who raised her. At the age of 12 he became a maid in a doctor's house. Then his mother Maria took him to London. In the British capital, Emma works as a cleaner at the Drury Lane Theatre. An ambitious girl doesn't take a job as a waitress. He wants to live better. From there she became a model and dancer. His boss, James Graham, owned a medical clinic called the Temple of Aesculapius, which had a dubious reputation. Here, Emma wears light clothing and plays Hygeia, the goddess of health, said archivist Will Meredith, quoted on thisday.com site, Friday, the 5th of November 2018. Later Emma often met noble men who visited there. It used to be acceptable for royalty to have a girlfriend. Emma's beauty and charm attracted the attention of noble men. She mistressed man after man, each more prominent and richer than the last, said Meredith. Quinton Colville, curator of the Emma Hamilton exhibition, Seduction and Celebrity, tells us that women, especially in 18th century England, often had to make themselves desirable to men of power and authority. The goal is to change fate. Thousands of women did that back then. Emma is just one of them, he said. When Emma was 15 years old, she accepted a job offer from Sir Harry Fanshawe. His job was to entertain the guests who came to the noble's grand castle. The party was wild and dark. Emma is said to often dance naked at the host's dinner table. Soon after, the woman became pregnant. Sir Harry, who was said to be responsible for the pregnancy, was furious. Emma then lived with Charles Greville, who was one of the guests at a wild party held at the home of Sir Harry and a nephew of the British ambassador in Naples, Sir William Hamilton. Greville, enchanted by Emma's beauty and charm, asked the artist George Romney to immortalize her in several paintings. The beauty, who later changed her name to Emma Hart, became famous through Romney's work. In addition, many nobles became commission artists. Charles Greville loved Emma to death, but the man has financial problems and is looking for a rich woman as a wife. There is no other choice. Emma must go. But how do you remove it? The plot works. Greville lured his lover to Naples to his uncle, whom his wife had recently abandoned. Emma is sent on vacation to Naples. The man didn't follow him. He pretends to be busy. Emma finally realized that she had been abandoned. His heart ached. He felt humiliated. But in the end, she wanted to be the mistress of Sir William Hamilton, who lived in a stately home and was wealthy. The two married in 1791. Emma was only 26 years old, and her husband was 60. So the wife of a noble has the right to be called Lady Hamilton. 2 years after her marriage, Emma met Admiral Lord Nelson. She was introduced as Lady Hamilton, the wife of the British ambassador to Naples. Emma also later became a close friend of Queen Maria Carolina of Naples. However, Lady Hamilton was involved in Admiral Nelson's victory over the French at the Battle of the Nile in 1798. The trick was to get permission from Naples so that the British fleet could get supplies in clear water in Sicily. But Nelson lost his arm in the battle. She ran. A woman tends to Nelson's wound. They fall in love, even though Nelson already has a wife named Fanny. When Sir William returned to England after retirement, the three even lived under the same roof. Emma went on to give birth to Nelson's child, a daughter named Horatia, in 1801, and Sir William died 2 years later. On October 21, 1805, in the midst of the Battle of Trafalgar, Nelson defeated a combined Franco-Spanish force that was threatening England. However, he was badly injured. His body was pierced by bullets fired by French snipers. He died 3 hours later. As King George III from England heard the news of Nelson's death, he reportedly shed tears. We don't know whether to grieve or rejoice. This country won the brightest and decisive victory in the naval history of England. However, the price to be paid is very high, said the king later. On the last day, before going into battle, Nelson made a special will. He asked the state to look after his lover Emma and daughter Horatia. However, British performance ignored the hero's last wish. Because Emma is used to living comfortably, her life is more like a pillar than a pillar. Eventually he couldn't pay the debt, and went to jail because of it. After his release, he moved to Calais. There he only became poorer, and more addicted to alcohol. Lady Emma Hamilton died of liver disease in 1815. She was only 49 years old at the time. May 12th is associated not only with the character of Emma Hamilton, but also becomes the impetus for many historical events. In 2008, the Wenchuan earthquake hit the Sichuan province of China. Its strength is approximately 8 senior, The bird has killed more than 69,000 people.